lives, and that's what my book is about.
Is it about experiencing virtual experiences?
No, no. I think you're putting the question wrong. You can't think in the new world where you can't
Experience in a new world?
Well, you can't. When you talk about the virtual and the physical are collapsed. So as we live more and more on the internet even now has a daily newspaper called the Daily Dot. As more and more of our lives are spent online, as our social lives are structured around an online experience, so the virtual and the physical, or the virtual and the real, are really the same thing. But it's not like in Second Life where we all have avatars and we invent ourselves and fly around the internet. It's actually real.
Isn't that a huge difference in engagement?
What do you mean?
Now, by having experience in real life and virtual life, I mean, the difference is engagement perhaps, or is it another way of engagement?
I'm not clear on the question.
Is it, does virtual experiences, do they have any engagement? Like real engagements? Real experience in real life?
Well, I think you're misunderstanding the situation. It's not. You're still referring to virtual in an old-fashioned way.
Can I make friends on Twitter, real friends, instead of the physical world making real friends?
Well, you can. I'm not sure if you will. I mean, there are people who do.
I don't have any friends.
There are people who do it on Facebook. But it does change everything about friendship and identity and community. And it's very attractive on some levels and very troubling on other levels, because we can't really, as we all know, have hundreds or thousands of friends. Robert Scoble has, over 130,000 followers, organic followers as he calls them. Can't have 130,000 friends. So you become different. You live in this sort of weird shadow world where real friendship is something that gets more and more lost or confused.
Do you agree with Seth Godin? He says making friends on the internet is just fake. It's fake relationships instead of real relationships.
I'm not sure if he actually says that, does he?
Yeah, he does on a video. He says just go look for real relationships, and it may be hybrid. I mean, relationship in the real world and virtual.
Yeah, it's interesting that I think that the thing is that nobody has friends on the internet. It's not as if you can have a friend on the internet. You can meet people on the internet. You can make networks on the internet. You can make connections. You can learn about people. And then you might one day meet them, and then it's possible you become a friend. What happens is that friendship historically tended to be local, tended to be built around local community. Whereas when your network is global on the internet, friendship is taken out of the local community, taken out of the physical. I think you can have friends friendship can be built from networks. Scoble has lots of friends, real friends, I think, but it does change the nature of friendship, perhaps makes it less complex, less intriguing, less secretive.
What kind of social media revolution do you describe in your new book?
Well, I describe a world in which we're all living in public. Everybody is on these networks. Everybody is using these apps, geolocation apps which tell the world what we're watching on television, where we're bicycling, what we're eating, where we are, when we're sleeping, who we're meeting, who we're sleeping with. So we've lost the private. We've built this Web 3.0, what Reid Hoffman, the founder of LinkedIn, called Web 3.0, I think reflects the fundamental death of privacy and the birth of a new public world, a world where 7, 8, 9, 100 million people are on Facebook. But it's not just Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. It's this infrastructure of new services and companies, Hashable, Clout, which reflect our personal value. All these companies, Social Eyes, Living in Public, Groupon, Zynga, they're all social in one way. So gaming is becoming social, commerce is becoming social, reading is becoming social, movie watching is becoming social, television watching is becoming social. So what I think Web 3.0 is the socialization of everything. And I think it's quite troubling, and I think we are sort of turning around, and suddenly what we're going to see is a social world. Now, a lot of evangelists here think that's a good thing. I don't. I'm writing a book about it and I'm warning people in the same way as I wrote Cult of the Amateur, which was a warning about Web 2.0. So my new book, which is called Digital Vertigo, is a warning about Web 3.0.
Do you need to be a social person, a social human being, to succeed in social media and to succeed in a new 3.0 world?
I think you do. I think one of the big points in my book is that the world is becoming Web 3.0. So you have to be on these networks. It's not just a matter of narcissism.
Does it make you a social human being, being on a network?
It makes you social in the Web 3.0 version, which is you live very externally, everyone sees you, you live as a brand, you live as a personality, you're defined in terms of your reputation. But your privacy is lost, your identity of shielding yourself, of being secret from the world is being lost. It's harder and harder to hide from, well, you've got a camera here, but this interview is a traditional interview where you're interviewing me, and in the social web this would be real time, and I would probably have the camera put on myself and I would be broadcasting this. I think the thing about Web 3.0 is that Big Brother has been replaced by lots of little brothers. We're all little brothers in this world. We can't blame government. We can't even blame Facebook or Google or Twitter. They have a responsibility, but there's no evil Big Brother at the heart of this world who we can imprison or pull down. It's all of us.
There's no evil in Apple or Google or great, huge companies?
I don't think there's any more evil in Apple or Google than in you or I. These are for-profit companies, and this economy is one where the companies that win are the ones who aggregate huge amounts of personal data. In a free economy where content is essentially free, where Facebook is a free service, or Apple's slightly different, or Twitter's a free service, or LinkedIn for the most part is a free service. Well, LinkedIn's different as well, but Twitter and Facebook are the classic, or Foursquare. When you give away the service for free, the only value you have is in the data you collect from your customers, not even customers, they're users, and then you can sell that data to your customers.